Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to see about looping control statements, continue, break, and then pass. First, we'll focus on the continue statement. And this statement is used only inside a loop. And when a program executes or encounters a continue statement inside a loop, it will skip the statements that are present after that particular statement and proceed with the next iteration of a loop. We know that a loop is generally used to perform a task multiple times. And the output of the program will be changed when a continue statement is encountered in a loop. Let us consider the example given below. Here, I have a for loop, and in this, I'm using the range function with starting value as 0 and then ending value as 5. So, this loop is supposed to print the numbers from 0 to 4. And here, inside the loop, I have a condition if n is equal to 3. So, I am checking whether the value of n is equal to 3. Then if this is true, I'm giving continue. That means that when this condition is true, it will not print the remaining part of the loop. It will continue with the next iteration instead. And let's see what will happen when I run this program. First, it will start with n is equal to 0 and check whether 0 is equal to 3. It is not true, it is false. Therefore, it will come to the line number 4 and print the value of n. So 0 will be printed. Then control will go to line number 1 again. Now n is 1. It will check whether 1 is equal to 3. It's not true. Therefore, it will come to line number 4, print the value of n. So 1 is printed. Next, again, control will go to line number 1. Now n is 2. It will check whether 2 is equal to 3. It's not true. Therefore, 2 will be printed. Again, control come back to line number 1. In this now, n is 3. And in line number 2, we are checking whether 3 is equal to 3. This is true. When it is true, it comes inside the if. So we have continue. That means that it will not print the remaining part of the loop that appears after the line number 3. It will skip it and go to the next iteration of the loop. So now this print n will not be executed. So 3 is not printed. Again, control come back to line number 1. Now n is 4. And it checks whether n is equal to 3. It is not true. So it will come to line number 4, print the value of n. So 4 is printed. Again, loop control comes to line number 1. Range function will print starting from 0 to 4. We have printed everything up to 4. So the loop is over. So control come back to line number 5. So now the statement loop finished is executed. So what is very important here is we can use a continue statement inside a loop, and it should be used only along with some if statement. That is conditional checking statement. And whenever continue is encountered, whatever statements we have written after that statement, they will be skipped only for that particular iteration. Control again comes to the next iteration and things will happen continuously. The next statement is break statement. This break statement is also used inside a loop, and this is generally used to terminate a loop. And whenever break statement is encountered in a loop, the control of the program will come outside the loop. Now let's see one example for this. In the same example, instead of the continue statement, I am using the break statement. First, we have n is equal to 0, and I am checking whether n is equal to 3. It is not true. So control comes to line number 4 and print the value of 0. Then in line number 1, I am checking next value of n, which is 1. And then if 1 is equal to 3, this is false. So I'll come to line number 4 and print the value of 1. Then n is incremented. N is now 2. 2 is not is equal to 3. Therefore, in line number 4, 2 will be printed. Next, again, control comes to the for loop. Now n is incremented, n is 3. Then inside the for loop, I am checking whether 3 is equal to 3. This is true. When the condition is true, control goes inside the if block. So now there is a break. So when break is encountered, the remaining part of the loop will be terminated and control comes outside the loop. Whereas in case of continue statement, it will skip only the remaining portion of the loop and the next iteration of the loop will be continued. But here we are not going to continue with the next iteration of the loop. As soon as break is encountered, the entire control will come outside the loop. So now in line number 5, when the control comes, loop finished is executed. When we run this program, we will get the output as 0, 1, 2, loop finished. The next statement is pass statement. pass statement is generally used as a null statement and it is used as a placeholder. And when we execute this particular statement, the Python interpreter, whenever it encounters pass, it will execute the statement, but nothing will happen because of that. And why we need this placeholder? Because whenever we write our program, when we start writing the code, at that time, we may not know the entire functionality of a particular code. Suppose if I don't know what to write for a particular block, but if I know that this will be implemented definitely in the nearby future, I will have the block, but the body of the block is not implemented fully. In that case, when I run, definitely I'll get the error, but I don't want to get the error. In that case, I can use the pass statement. So pass statement is mainly used to have a functionality that is not yet implemented, but that will be implemented in the future. For example, let me assume that I want to write a loop. I don't know what is the body of the loop. I want to do certain task some certain number of times, but I don't know what exactly I want to do. So in that case, I want to write an empty for loop. So when I write an empty for loop by this particular syntax for n in range 1 to 5, when I run this, I'll be getting an error because Python interpreter will be expecting certain statements inside the body of the for loop. So how to avoid this error? I don't know what to be the body of the loop now, but definitely I'll write in the future. So in that case, we have the pass statement now. So in case of the pass statement, in the same thing, first I have a print. I'm just printing the message empty loop. Then with the help of for loop, I want to print certain group of statements, or I want to do a task certain number of times. So I have range function. So for the range function, I am giving the starting value as 1 and ending value as 5. So it will do certain task totally 4 times for 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And now inside the for loop, I am giving pass. So this pass statement is now used as a placeholder. In future, if you want to replace anything, you can simply remove the pass statement and you can write the group of statements as a block of code. And after the loop, I have given the message loop finished. When I execute now, I'm not getting any error. In the previous case, I got the error, but now with the help of the pass statement, when I have the empty loop, I'm not getting any error. It's not that we have to use the pass statement only for loop. It can be used for implementing any functionality or any block which is not known currently. For example, let me assume that I want to read the marks of the student, and based upon the mark of a student, if the student gets mark less than 40, I want to give the retest to the students because I want to improve their performance. But if the student already passes by getting 40 marks, I don't know what to be done. I don't know whether I have to give the retest or I have to reject it. So if the mark is greater than or equal to 40, I don't know what should be done. But if the mark is less than 40, definitely the student will be given the retest. So I want to write a program for this. So first I'm reading the mark of the student and I'm converting the mark into integer and storing it in the variable called mark. Then I'm checking whether mark is greater than or equal to 40. So in this case, when this condition is true, I haven't decided what to be done. So I want to implement now the placeholder where I will replace the code later. So I'm writing now pass statement. So here the code will be decided later. Else, when the control comes to the else block, the meaning is the student mark is less than 40. So definitely I will give the retest to the student. So I'm giving the message print, you are eligible for the retest. So with the help of the pass statement, we can create any placeholder. Coming to the last concept in this video, loop with else. We have two loops in Python, for loop and then while loop. In both the loops, we can have an optional else block. And this else block will be executed when all the items in the sequence used in the loop are completely exhausted and the control comes outside the loop. That means that the control comes outside the loop after the normal execution. And sometimes we can use break statement inside the loop. So when we use the break statement, and if the loop breaks without completely executing the loop, in that case, this particular else part is ignored and it will not be executed. Now let's see an example to understand. First, I have a for loop. In the for loop, I have the range function 0 to 5. And here I'm simply printing the value of n. And if n is equal to 3, I'll give break. So that means that I'll print value starting from 0 up to 3. When 3 is encountered, I'll break the loop. And in the else block, here I have the optional else block. You can see this else block is after the for. So this is the else block for the for. And here I am giving the message print else block. And after that, I have a print message loop finished. So now here we have two blocks. One is this for, where I have three statements inside that. And the other is else block. I have this statement inside the else block. Now, first n is 0. So n is printed. It is not 3. So no break will be encountered. So control comes to next value of n. N is 1. N is printed. It is not is equal to 3. Again control comes here. Then n is 2. 2 is printed. It is not is equal to 3. Again control comes here. Next n is 3. 3 is printed. After that n is equal to 3. That means that break. So break statement is encountered inside the for loop. So we are coming outside the for loop. How we come outside the for loop? Have we executed all the iterations of the for loop? No. This for loop is supposed to print the numbers from 0 to 4. But we are breaking the loop before it is fully exhausted. So in that case, control will not go to the else block because we are coming outside the loop before it is fully executed. So now control will go to the line number 7 and it will print the message loop finished. Suppose in the same program, instead of giving n is equal to 3, I am giving n is equal to 10 in the condition for the break. So here first n is 0, 0 will be printed and it is not is equal to 10. So control comes to the next iteration. N is 1, 1 will be printed. It is not 10. Again control comes next. 2 will be printed, 3 will be printed, 4 will be printed. And this range function is supposed to print from 0 to 4 only. All the values are printed. Okay, this break will be encountered only if n is equal to 10. But now we have not reached 10. And here, all the statements in the range are printed. That means that the loop is fully executed. We are not breaking from the loop. So in this case, when the loop is fully executed and if the control come outside the loop, then this else block will be executed. So the message else block is also printed. After printing this, control comes to the line number 7. Now loop finish is also printed. So now we have seen how to use optional else block in for loop. The same thing can be applied for the while loop also. So with this, the looping control statements are over.